So what happens today is, hello and welcome to the news from the 30th January 2018. What we will to see in the news today is a lot of lies and a lot of frauded messages and everything. And let me start talking about Bcash, because in the last 2 days Bcash popping up with some strange things about it. And we also discussed the Bcash thing in the community here, and what happens is, what's the difference between Bcash and what's the difference to Bitcoin? So in the news many people say, and it was a new opinion, the so-called report, that they said here the Bitcoin hard fork was in real a hard fork, that the Bitcoincash is now the original Bitcoin and the name has changed to Bitcoin for the new one, which is fold. So what they say is that the name's not turned over. So they imagine you that you have two coins, and one is the Bitcoin and the other one is the Bcash. But they say that what we think about what Bitcoincash is today is the real Bitcoin and should be named Bitcoin, and the other coin, the Bitcoin we have today, is the Bitcoincash. This is as stupid as impossible, because the hard fork was made on the Bitcoin blockchain with the Bitcoin on. Before Bcash never knows Bcash. So after that, the exchanges named this new coin Bcash, and at the beginning of Bcash, no one was supporting Bcash. Really, no one except Coinbase. What you have to understand, the story of Bcash is a whole lie from the beginning. The beginning of Bcash works that, for example, Coinbase said to their people, you have to update your computers that Bcash is running on your computers. But the P1 and P2 never was a node system or an update system for accepting something. It was a whole new core with different rules in it, with the rule that SegWit will never be adopted. So many people started to download this so-called update and installed a new core version. And that's what the first tricky on it was. So you see, there were a lie behind introducing Bitcoincash from the first time. The next thing people have to understand, and it's very, very necessary that you understand why Bcash happened. Bcash happened only from the greedy of people. Bcash has success because SegWit 2x coin was not coming. Bcash has success because Roger Ver was disappointed about the BCU coin he invented months ago, and no one was supporting him. The idea of a hard fork is to make an upgrade to show what to implement some VIPs which could not be implemented by only making a soft fork. A hard fork is a rule change, and then you haven't got any compares to older versions. You can cut off the older versions because the new software is not working with the old software. A soft fork is a rule changing which is accepted also by older versions of the program. That's totally different. When the discussion was on SegWit in the first time, and in Milan wasn't found in conclusion and there was no consensus, they done it again in New York. And they said, okay, we will do the block size update and we will accept SegWit. And the important thing was what they said, no SegWit2x coin is coming out because the second line which comes out with the hard fork will never come out to the publicity. It's like Ethereum. Ethereum has Ethereum Classic and Ethereum, but the last hard forks haven't seen a new Ethereum, only this both. So this was mentioned, what we call the SegWit2x was the BIP 148, which should prevent SegWit not coming if there is no consensus after all. Because the people saw what happens after Milan, the consensus was not fulfilled by the other people. So we done it on smart contracts here to fulfill the plan that if something is going wrong, the miners could do an user-activated soft fork and the user-activated hard fork, and then implement SegWit, and after 3 months the block size update. Lucky we are, SegWit was accepted before BIP 148 comes into the field. So what we see is the mainstream was accepting Bitcoin in an update with SegWit. It was discussed long times before. And now it was 51% saying more that they want to have SegWit. But it was clear from this point on that SegWit2x is not coming, and so not SegWit2x coin. Many people don't believe. They called me and said, Jörg, that's wrong, you will see the SegWit2x coin is coming and something like this. My group was full of stupid stuff like this. Today, I'm right, you're wrong. In this finding and discussions all about the so-called ASIC boost popped up. The company Bitmain was producing mining machines which had more effort and efficiency than all the other machines they produced before. In fact, 20% more power. But they don't talk about these machines and sell the machines to a close group of investors. But a newspaper or a news blog was finding out what about this ASIC boost is. And if you want to create a world with bitcoins and mining, and you do something like hidden like this is a big thing in the entire community. So the so-called ASIC boost only works if SegWit is not coming. Many people out there said the Bitcoin blockchain will never see SegWit. The same people today say Bitcoin blockchain is never seeing Lightning. The same people say all the altcoins better than Bitcoin. The same stupid words, the same stupid circulation as from the beginning. The same stupid words, the same stupid things that say Bcash. So what happens? SegWit was coming, and the 20% more efficiency of the miners from Bitmain have gone for good. So the investors were very angry and said to Bitmain, what happens here? We lost all our money in this high value machines and you tricked us and we want to back our money and everything. But if you're in a situation like a company like Bitmain and you need investors to keeping up your mining companies, facilities and everything, yeah? Then you can't go for them and say, leave us. So they decided with Coinbase, which is very user group, which is largely invested in Bitmain, to make a new coin and sell token and a pre-sale for this coin to keep them out of the lost money. That's why Bcash was created. And Bcash needs a story. Every coin needs a story. The story is necessary to sell something. If you have an idea and you haven't got the story today, you won't sell anything to a million publicity. So what happens now was that Roger Ver was jumping on the boat and said, yeah, that's it, I will do for Bcash and I will go for the bigger block size and fuck off SegWit. Yeah? and he get attracted by many, many people outside there. They push his Bitcash. And so he pushed Coinbase. They from the beginning on tricked to mine Bitcash, betrayed people on Bitcoin to mine Bitcash with new core versions. The Bitcoin Unlimited team supported Bitcash by providing solutions that no one wants, because the concept was no bigger blocks taking Lightning and SegWit. You all know outside there that there was starting a discussion at first. The discussion of this thing was, what about the fees? And here it comes that Bitcash was betraying and lying again. The entire Bitcoin network at this point of time was not too slow and hasn't got high fees. It comes out when blockchain info and Coinbase hold on to spend their UTXOs right now. They hold the transaction fees back and slow down with empty blocks the system. You have to understand that the miner can choose how many transactions he put into a block. This is very, very needful and necessary to understand. A miner can say, I will put 2 transactions in a block, or I will fill up the block until the end from 1 MB, that means 4,200 transactions. This is a very, very strong point of knowledge you have to know. What now happens is that Roger Ver brought over 700,000 people today into Bitcoin mining, and all these computers were starting not to fill their blocks right up with the maximum. So what we then see is, because Coinbase is one of the largest exchanges, that an overflow of the mempool comes out. That was never mentioned by the philosophy of Satoshi Nakamoto. These lies, these tricks, are the dust in the wind that will blow them the storm we started now to keep out of Bitcash. I'm from the founder group of Bitcoin. And Roger Ver and all the people bought some of the founders into their system. Even Gavin Andresen, I don't know if he takes drugs or something today, was saying, hey, I support Bitcash, that's what I meant when we created Bitcoin. This is bullshit. The mention behind Bitcoin was a philosophy from Satoshi Nakamoto and some guys like me. The philosophy to create a world which brings poor people back into banking, which makes things happen that we don't have to use Western Union to make remittance. The philosophy behind Bitcoin was ever and will ever be to create a community which is built on trust and honesty, and the entire ledger is proven the honesty with an entrance of a transaction, and even your transaction script you write in is the proof that it happens for good. This silly Bitcash, this silly stupid people now undermine the philosophy for declaring that they are the holy grail of philosophy, and bring to you out there conferences called like the Satoshi Nakamoto Philosophy Conference. This is the biggest lie on earth. If you go for this conference, for example, now in Japan, and Stephen Craig Wright is standing on tall on the top of the stage and is talking about that he is Satoshi Nakamoto, you betray people, you lie to people, you do everything to people. And I hope that the thunder is killing them all there, because this lies is not for a free world. This is only money makers conference to cut down a people. They got the strength with their Bitcoin and Lightning to create a world that is dependent on freedom and independence. They're going and acting in a way the devil does. And they showed us that they're not for real, that they are scammers. The report, if you go for Reddit, RBTC, which is controlled by Roger Ver and his friends, and so not Bitcoin, but Bitcoincash people in there. They throw out you off the group if you're talking in the way I do now. They ban you. And that means they all lost their philosophy. Everyone who is supporting Bcash. Because it is one thing you say, okay, I like Bcash because I can make money with them and I can trade and I will keep up the price, yeah? But going for a stage and talking about the philosophy of Satoshi Nakamoto and standing there and presenting Satoshi Nakamoto in person named Craig Stephen Reid, is the biggest lie, and this is putting dirt on the faces from the people who created this thing called Bitcoin. There is a so simple thing to prove that he can't be Satoshi Nakamoto, because he said he will never come again. He comes again. After that he says, I will never give an interview again. He stands on the stage. The next thing is, all people out there stupid to calculate. The halving of Bitcoins, which is coming out, which are now 12.5 Bitcoins each 10 minutes, is after 210,000 blocks. And the middle time of creating Bitcoins is 10 minutes. This means 4 years. But the first Bitcoins, the halving is in 2020. And what Stephen Craig Reid is showing is a transaction of the first block in 2009. This means, if you sound and hear what they say, we are going for the Genesis public block. We are talking about a public block, not about the first block. This was created in 2008, and it's easy to understand for you. If you bring a Chrysler or a Tesla alive, you have to work on it before to make tests. And so the first Bitcoins and the first transaction was created in 2008. And only a guy who can provide me and prove me that he has a transaction from 2008 could be Satoshi Nakamoto. No one else. 2008, 2012, 2016, 2020, halving time. Not 2012, 2013, 2021 at least. So think before you say something like this. Think about before you bring people alive calling Satoshi Nakamoto. Stephen Craig Reid is working for a company called N-Chain, and they make solutions for the fintech. Satoshi Nakamoto never, also like the people around me from Digitash, when David Trump was going to the fintech, will support people going for the fintech if they say we like Bitcoins. No one will say this. Either you stand clear for your Bitcoin and the idea to bring people out to that what we call a community of love, peace and harmony, and giving us our own money and our own rights and our own peace. Or you go the way, I want to make money, I want to make more money, and I want to squeeze from every side, from the fintech, from the Bitcoins, from everyone, to squeeze them out of money so that I get more rich, and all my people believing in me getting also more rich. The philosophy is not about money. You never mention I have 250,000 Bitcoins and I'm working with these Bitcoins, not as you meant. For example, I have 150 charity projects running on Bitcoin and creating value in Bitcoins and help them that they don't have to ask for money again. Roger Ver today announced that they had an auction. They called it charities auction with Roger Ver raises anti-war com. And that raises $87,000. For a guy like Roger Ver's, $87,000 is a drop upon a whole stone. Why does he invent there and putting in some bitcoins so they can rise by themselves by different in price? No one of the investors today have such many money spent like me to charity projects all over the world. No one is changing the world by trying to stop Nestle from sending water to rich people and cut off the poor people from their own water. No one is trying to stop Monsanto to keep on the fruits, so we have to pay for everything, for agriculture in the future on exchanges. No one from you out there has ever gone to the governments and was talking to them in the way I do to keep, for example, Japan into bitcoins. No one has done this. But now you claim that your Bcash is the right Bitcoin. How stupid you are, believing that people don't know what they do. You're talking us about high fees in the Bitcoin network, but you never have used Airbits. You never have used some wallets where they were all the time cheap. You're only running for this faked empty block space and Coinbase, Xapo, Bitcoin.de, blockchain info. This is an investor world keeping you up and claiming the high fees, earning the high fees by winning the block, and talking to you the Bitcoin blockchain is too slow, and pushing the price up and down like they want to do. But you are all going and running for that. And you all believe things you don't understand. And this is not a war about the real Bitcoin. This is a war which started now to keep the world clear, to help the poorest coming out of the banking system. And Bcash is putting the old system into the Bitcoin idea. And now it is only a thing to create more money and more money and more money. Did you ever imagine that you can also do Lightning and SegWit and can keep up the blocks later? So what is if 1 million transactions doesn't work? The Bitcoin blockchain was built like a Lego brick. You can't change the Lego, but you can make from Lego everything you want to do. A plane, a house, everything. No matter which box you bought. And that's the meaning and the spirit of Bitcoin. And if I do side change, and if I do something like this, or I update the core, like Dandelion, who makes the IP invisible, then you see what the right Bitcoin is. A system for the people to raise money for the people without controlling. And Bcash is controlled by a little few people who now going for stage and making and claiming for them to have the right to know what Bitcoin is. Roger Ver wasn't in the former times there. He comes 2010 as the first Bitcoin investor. Winklevoss twins. They don't know in Bitcoin anything, only that they can make money. So this guys all like, even like John McAfee, only making money, presenting the coin of the day, presenting Bcash and something like this. This is a monetary thing. They squeeze you by money and you are blind because you say, oh, they're from the beginning. The beginning was in my time. And if you want to understand what the beginning and the meaning of Bitcoin is, I want you to look for the movie called Banking on Bitcoin. And then see in the movie what the guys from former times have done. Even Barry Silbert is there. And look at the picture it's shown there, you see me. And then follow the movie. And then look what the philosophy is behind Bitcoin. And don't talk about trading. Look what they say, what they hope, what the dreams of a community of people was. which can create own money and prevent people from digital spying. All the smart contracts are used today to spy people in their daily lifetime, to watch what they do, where they are, what they go, what they buy, what they talk about, everything. The big data collection today will not be finished or prevented by Bcash. It is the symbol of Bitcoin, which is showing the people freedom and bringing the freedom and the power and the money back to the people. And all other coins, worthless in this way. They haven't got a philosophy. They were built for trading. And even the Bcash people starting mining Bcash and changing their Bcash into Bitcoin because the price of the Bitcoin is the highest. So what will you tell here about new blockchains and something like this? They are not working. But if I make a split of the Bitcoin blockchain, it works. But if I have only a coin without philosophy, it doesn't work. So where is your philosophy when we started? Instead of going the way together, even in times when 51% of the people say we want to go this way, it doesn't matter that you have to split off and go away. Because if you believe in the spirit and the philosophy that you can create a better world, we have to go one way, hand in hand, even with the hard times is coming. But what we here see is a war of interest and fees. That's not philosophy. This is only about money. And you should think twice if you want to go and hold a hand on and talk about Bcash philosophy. There is no one. The only philosophy is to make money. Yeah? Remember, a charity from Roger Ver is bringing 87,000 How poor is he? The charity I make brings people for long term, about 5 years, 400, 500,000 by rising Bitcoins. There is a difference out there. There's something if I talk or if I act. And if you're only talking and making blah, 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 nothing will change in this world. And even in all your groups and Facebook groups where you call your shitcoins, scam coins and something like this, and talking about if I can speak in the right English or not or something like this, forget about it. You all haven't got a philosophy. You are greedy. And that's the difference. And how can I change a world with greedy people? They don't understand anything. Yeah? They are too stupid to understand what this is. The philosophy and the spirit behind Bitcoin was to create a monetary system owned by the people, the control of data, IDs, controlled by the people, not in stupid blockchain projects from other. They control the code behind the ledger. Decentralization is only today the Bitcoin network. The Bitcoin as itself. This code you can't change. With a hard fork you can change, but then you have broken down the philosophy. So, the Bitcoin is the only coin has got a philosophy, is fighting for freedom, is standing all the governments. And you come with your own philosophy and want to talk to me what's right or wrong? How stupid. Think about it before you run to conferences called the Satoshi Nakamoto philosophy. Think about what it means to have a system keep up running in a way that is driven from the spirit of humans to survive in a world which is turned over by government and banks and will destroy this ball faster and faster and faster. We have only this one ball. And you going and destroy it in a way, it's going faster and faster with all your silly money putting in things. They are worthless because they don't change anything. You only support the old money system in digital form. So if you want to change something, support people that are out there fighting each day at governments and teaching all the people outside there each day, traveling around the world, what the spirit is and the philosophy behind Bitcoins. That's not the money. That's the right to get back freedom, money and digital freedom. That has not built to become an entire controlled system for data collection. The Bitcoin is here to stay and bring you out of the control, to creating and shaping a crowd of people or a population or everything new in a better way. We can't stop violence. We can't stop frauding. But what we can do is making this world a little more fairer and bringing people without money into money so they can grow the economy by spending their money at the merchants. If you only squeeze the people, they are rich. Sometimes they're running out of money and you can't squeeze them anymore. But if we bring poor people to money and they rise the economy, all of us will win. And that's what the meaning behind Bitcoin is. And that's an economy system. There's a deflationary system who will kill the debts. And I swear to you, one day you will see Bcash lands. That's not what it should. And now think twice before you judge about people talking about Bitcoin and Bcash. Take Bcash in an investment, but don't talk about the philosophy behind Bcash. Then you don't know what you're talking about. Okay, some other news today, far away from this. We have, for the Bitcoin world, the Singapore Mall sells cryptocurrency mining hardware. This is a funny thing because you can go for a mall and buy rigs. And that's nice to see because normally you have to buy rigs by the big companies and something like this. And now you can do it in Singapore in a mall. And next time I will be there, I will check it out. And yeah, it's a nice thing how things come together. It's rigs for Alcom mining at the moment. But I also see that they will come out with rigs for Bitcoin mining because there are also different companies outside from Bitmain or from Bitfury who is selling SHA 256 machines. We will watch this carefully because you can see the more people running for these rigs, the more interesting is in mining and the more the value of Bitcoins and altcoins is rising. Yeah. So another thing is, many of you see the Tether. So Tether was a coin which was pushed in the last time very, very high and was also pushed by Friedman LLP. Now Friedman LLP has left the stage. Yeah, and they say, yeah, okay, we are going out, but we will keep on thinking in it. So the trust into Tether has gone away because the founders of the Tether and the first providers are going out of Tether. You will see that the Tether coin is only a product which is not coming out to life, which people don't trust in. The biggest fear would be for it to transpire that Tether lacks the US dollar to cover the US dollar T token it is readily issuing. So this is Tether was built to make an US dollar in digital, but it doesn't work, you see. And now Friedman is leaving and everyone is going out, and the Tether coin was falling from $1 now to 0.96. And you see it is steadily going up in a very, very high way. So Tether is not anymore like a coin who pretends that they will have something. It's always the same, you see. Then we have to talk about another scam. ICOs are always scams, I told you. Vegetables on the blockchain ICO access scams after paying people to write on their bodies. So in this article you can see how a scam SEO is working and what happens if they blame the people after going down. Yeah, and that's a very, very hard thing to see we will always see many other following in this way, and now we want to see this one, which is going really crazy. And yeah, let's look for it. So what do we have? Another news comes from Hong Kong. The Hong Kong fund acquire was by Chinese mining powerhouse BTTC. BTCC was going for an investment fund, and that means that BTCC is focusing extraordinarily on their Mobi app and on the mining machines. Yeah, but they ran out of their own exchange. So BTCC will only focus on international expansion, yeah, like the mining pool or something like this. So BTCC is going up, and we will see that this is a good thing, because also the Mobi app will come back in a few months. So they also, with the fund, with the investing in the fund, are working on an own bank license, and you will see that BTCC is doing a lot of funny things for the Bitcoin world. We have to wait, and it's a good sign. So these are the news today. I hope you enjoyed the news, and yeah, in the next movie I will introduce you into a credit card which is working, which you can use with Bitcoins, which you can use the Bitcoins to load it directly on the Bitcoin card, and they will immediately change into euro or US dollar. So it's a very nice way to keep up with credit cards and Bitcoins, to work with them. I will invent to you in the next video. Maybe not one scam I want to talk about you. Hashgraph has a white paper, and Hashgraph is the future of decentralized technology, so they call it. It doesn't make sense if you go for the videos and for the presentation, and you go for the first movies and everything, you will see likely that in the descriptions you will outpoint that they haven't got a clue about I will call it knowing and understanding blockchain technology. They write that they say if two miners find one block, a strange people community is taking either the one way or the other way. So they don't know how it works if two miners hash the same code at the same time. And if I write it on a paper, on a white paper, and talking against Bitcoin blockchain, and I don't know what it is, how can I trust in a company called Hashgraph that they are not a scam? You see? Also scams come out with new ideas and begging for the stupid people to support them. These are the news today, and hope you liked it, and we will see next time again in Satoshi School with updated news. Thank you for being here. Thank you to supporting. Have a nice day.